Hey guys, it's me again. Just wanted to give a quick update on the 52 Ford Gasser project that we got going on. We went ahead and got the headlight bezels. We're still missing the inner trim ring. There's a couple of those on eBay. Don't feel like spending the money on them right now. Might do something different if we can't find any. We're still missing the front turn signal housings and trim rings and everything. If you have any of those, let me know, because we really need some. I have a guy that maybe was selling a set to me, but it's taking a while to get any information on that. But we pretty much lined out the front splash pan on here. I don't know if you saw in any other videos, but it was cracked in the back area here where the support is. The support mount's actually cracked under here, which we still have to repair that. But went ahead and re-welded it, put body filler on it, got it pretty much sanded pretty well. This corner over here was really deformed, and took a hammer and dolly, went ahead and got that back in a relatively correct position where it looks, you know, somewhat just like the other one over there. Just took a little time using a hammer and dolly. It's not a big deal. Anybody can do it. The rocker panel over here, well, first we got this dent taken care of, and that's all good. If any of you guys have the trim that goes on this front fender, basically along here, I have the spears and I have the door trim, but I don't have the fender trim. If you have any of that, please let us know, because we could really use it. But what I was saying is, the rocker panel had been patched with numerous patches, and it was all deformed. It had close to a ½ inch of Bondo on it. And what they were doing is, not only is it slightly deformed, but the door was warped. Like a lot of old 50s cars, the doors are no longer in the correct shape. And there's ways you can fix that. You can cut the edges, all the welds around the edges. You can put it back in position. You can weld it back up. That's one thing you can do. Or what Charlie did last night, he just took a body hammer and knocked it back into position. So we got some filler on there that we have to take off. But we're still working on this rocker panel over here. We'll have that taken care of pretty soon. Still haven't radiused the back here. One thing we did is we went ahead and shaved the filler door, because the gas tank is old and full of rust, and we may still use it, put it in the trunk or whatever, since this is a gasser. But we might be able to get a fuel cell from one of the members, and so that would work. But we went ahead and we welded it up. I'll put some pictures on there, and so you can see how we did it. Just basically formed a piece out of metal and a vise and a hammer, and knocked it into position, and slowly welded it up and put some filler on it. It's pretty smooth now. It looks pretty good. It was kind of hard to sand, because as you can see, there's a radius. It's not flat, so that was kind of fun. Doug took care of that. And yeah, still haven't radiused. The fenders aren't doing anything with those right now, the rear quarters. So working on a few things. Still have to sand off the roof. But yeah, waiting on the gasket for the rear window. Still thinking about colors. If you have any ideas, to shoot some out. We worked this door too, because it was warped. And again, I'm missing this trim right here. If you have it, please let us know. And still missing the front turn signals. I got we kind of dropped the idea of making this look like copper, and I basically really took some filler and filled in all the deep pits. If you watch some of the older videos, it was in pretty bad shape, and as you can see, it's all smooth now, so there's no pits in there. Got that all primered up. Still needs a final sanding. They have this chrome paint that I don't know, we might try it out, but it has to be really smooth, obviously, so I don't know if I can get it that perfect, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, just let us know if you have any ideas on colors. So like I said, we're just going to start towards the top and start tagging our way down, and in order to form it properly at the bottom with this curve. Just make sure you clean the material as best you can, maybe use some degreaser on it, and go from there. So as you're welding, it might be good to cool the area off as you go along, just so you don't warp the metal. I just use an air hose. So another thing that we did this weekend was we went ahead and replaced the front brakes. We've got the shoes, the cylinders, the hoses, and the seals. For relatively inexpensive, they came from Rock Auto. They were the correct parts. They were in stock for a 52 Ford. That was pretty good. They went on really well. Hopefully that'll work for us. We know that since this is a gasser, a lot of people put disc brakes on them, but as I learned from some other YouTube channels, from everybody's favorite uncle, and then from another garage, that supposedly the drum brakes are lighter, so that might help a little bit. And plus, we're not going to be driving this on the highway. Obviously, it's going to be a drag car, so we're not really concerned about that. So for right around $100 delivered, we got all the parts that we needed for that. But one thing I wanted to talk about was Chinese carburetors. I was watching a couple of videos online from some well-known YouTube channels, and they both just recently purchased Chinese carburetors, and they spoke about how cheap they were, but they worked, right? Which is fine. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But you know, obviously we have some problems with Chinese parts. There was several videos online with brand new parts just being defective, the metallurgy not being proper on like camshafts and crank timing gears and things like that. So one thing we just might want to consider is just trying to purchase parts from American-made companies if possible. I'm not totally sure, but I'm sure there are maybe a little bit more expensive carburetors that could have been used, because it's kind of weird. We keep complaining about the Chinese parts, but then they keep purchasing the Chinese parts. Which, if you have to do it, you have to do it. But you know, we just might want to, as a group, start considering maybe ignoring those parts if possible. But if they're in your budget, that's fine too. And if they work, that's great. But go ahead and don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, and like, and go ahead and share it with your friends. Thank you.